You know, I just now realized that some stories aren't meant to be told throughout three movies. Which brings us to The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. This is the final chapter in the Hobbit trilogy, as well as the live action Middle Earth saga. It's probably the last one we're going to get, at least while I'm alive. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, this one picks up right where Desolation of Smaug left off, where the dwarves and Bilbo Baggins, the little hobbit who goes on their journey, enter the Lonely Mountain, wake Smaug, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, piss him off to the point where he leaves the mountain to destroy the nearby lake town. So this movie opens with Smaug setting fire to the entire town. And I'm not spoiling anything here. The fisherman, played by Luke Evans, manages to escape his cell and kills Smaug using the black arrow that chinked his armor many years ago. And that happens before the Battle of the Five Army title screen shows up. So with Smaug dead, Thorin Oakenshield has reclaimed the Lonely Mountain, but now an army of wood elves, the refugees from the lake town, two orc packs, and another group of dwarves come to basically fight over the mountain in what is basically a 2-hour long battle. Now, I have reviews for the other Hobbit movies, but really briefly, for Unexpected Journey, I really liked. I thought it was great seeing one of these movies on the big screen since I missed out on Lord of the Rings in theaters. And I liked seeing all the new creatures, and I'd definitely say it was good, but not great. Desolation of Smaug had some really good elements also, like Benedict Cumberbatch, but it felt too padded, and once I kind of saw the direction this series was heading, I wasn't too thrilled. I still think it's a good movie, just not great. And I haven't read the books. This one, I was kind of fearful what was going to happen because the last Hobbit movie didn't leave me so enthusiastic, and the biggest fear I had was that Smaug was going to get killed in the opening of the movie, and I was right. The decision to make this three movies, this one book that's smaller than all the Lord of the Rings books, was not a smart one at all. It just feels too padded out. I don't think this movie in particular is a mess like everyone's talking about, because it has some really good elements. The opening scene where Smaug is destroying Lake Town it's amazing. It's really incredible to watch. It actually has some tension-filled moments. I was thinking like, oh, the arrow missed! It was just really an incredible sequence to watch. Probably the best part of the movie. The acting's still really good. Martin Freeman still makes a really great Bilbo Baggins, who... One of the reasons I've always preferred Bilbo over Frodo is that Bilbo is willing to stand by those he claims to be friends without showing any signs of fear. Like, Bilbo is a fearless hobbit, and that's something I really admire about him. Of course, Sir Ian McKellen is always good as Gandalf the Grey. The action scenes are very impressive. There's some really cool moments, but then there are also some stupid moments. One involves a bridge and Legolas, but I won't really say what it is. And the 3D, I saw this movie in 3D without that stupid high frame rate, and it actually was pretty good. There were some few 3D elements that made me go, whoa. And then the ending of the movie I really liked. It gave me that good Lord of the Rings feel. And, I don't know, for a movie that is kind of meh, it left me with a good feeling in the end. Now, changing directions, what didn't I like? This is a 2.5 hour long movie that mainly feels like one big battle. Like, the fighting just keeps going and going and going and going to the point where it's like, I kind of lost interest. I mean, Return of the King is long. The theatrical version alone is 3.5 hours long, but I still was invested in what was going on. There were a few moments where I was invested, when it's a few quiet moments with Thorin, the other dwarves, and Bilbo, but overall, the main battle, I just thought it went way too long. There are a few slow-mo moments that I didn't care for. For Bilbo, there's a point in the battle where they do something with him that, I don't want to say, like, in the past movies, he's always had a feeling of absence, despite this movie being called The Hobbit, and that once again happens here, where I just didn't like it at all. However, this movie I still think is visually impressive, something you kind of have to see it in the theaters, just avoid that stupid frame rate like I did. and you might enjoy it. For me, it's a tough one. I think it's a well-made movie. I don't think it's the mess that everyone claims it to be, because it was kind of easy to follow. It's just, it was hard for me to get fully invested in what was going on. So I'm gonna say, it's tough. I'm gonna say watch at your own risk. For me personally, I think it's a good movie, but it's not a great movie. But for you, the audience out there, watch at your own risk. If you've been following these movies, then you're gonna see this in the theater regardless. If you haven't, my advice is just to wait till it comes out on Blu-ray, or alternatively, wait for that fan edit to come out where someone's going to take all three Hobbit movies, mesh them together into a 2-hour movie that pretty much translates the book. So that's how I feel about this whole series. It's a series that I think a lot of people say is worse than it actually is, because it has some bad moments, but also has its share of really good moments. It's not like Star Wars prequel bad, but it's not Lord of the Rings epic. Although I will say the good thing about this series now ending is that we have nowhere to go but up. Once I finish reviewing all the movies in the Universal 100 set, which I plan to finish, I haven't given up on that. I will rewatch The Lord of the Rings, and for the first time watch the extended versions and give my reviews on that, because I haven't given reviews on the Lord of the Rings movies on this channel. So look forward to that at some point. But for now, that's my review of The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. Leave a comment, tell me what you thought of the movie, like, subscribe, go check out my video blog channel. You can follow me on Twitter at AlexG8462. Follow me on Instagram at TheRealMrRobinson, and go like me on Facebook /TheRealMrRobinson. And go check out my written movie reviews on Geeked Out Nation. This is The Real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one. See you guys later.